A little bit of a step backwards after really starting the season hot. Still a dangerous team. Oklahoma is just flat out better than they were a year ago. No Trae Young, but he was the whole team last year. I mean, basically, it was 4 guys and Trae Young, and they stood around watching him.
We talked about that so many times on the podcast last year when we broke down their games.
Get back to being a team again.
Yep.
This is more of an LK type of team where they share the ball, execute. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing out of Oklahoma. I think Lon's got himself a pretty decent squad.
And you know what? He doesn't shy away from scheduling teams early in the season. Look at who they've played already. Florida, Wisconsin, Dayton, Notre Dame, Wichita State, USC, and now Creighton for an out-of-conference. That's why they're so good when they get down there. I like Oklahoma here. Creighton, their 2 losses. They lost the same game twice, in my opinion. They had that big game, the shootout against Gonzaga. Then they went on the road the next game and faced Nebraska, got blown out. Here's a stat for you on Creighton. They're just 3-11 against the spread. Last 2 seasons as a road underdog. I'll go ahead and take Oklahoma.
Sounds good. We have 2 people to join us now. Matt Humans has arrived in the studio. I mentioned on Twitter.
Santa Claus.
Our special guest today, Santa Matt, is here. He's going to give away something. And Jeff Sherman is on the hotline right now from Superbook USA. What's going on, Jeff? How are you?
Oh, excellent. How's it going, guys?
Very good. We got a full house in here now. A little bit. I want to go back to last night. What did that late fumble by the Saints mean from a betting standpoint, from the house's perspective?
You know, it really wasn't as much as you'd think. We didn't have too large of a decision on this game. There really wasn't residual liability from this weekend because it was a slower weekend heading into the holiday season. So it really didn't have too much of an effect on us one way or another. We were going to win on the game no matter what happened, a small winner each way.
All right. It was fun. No question about that. And made the end of the game entertaining, that's for sure.
It did. It helped out because it was an interesting game, but Carolina, they had a lot of issues.
Jeff, with the quarterbacks now with some of the teams that are out of it, if you saw Newton last night in the 4th quarter, he had no velocity on his throws on that last drive. You look at Stafford, he's banged up. Rodgers, he's not 100%. Do you see any of these guys sitting out, and what kind of problem does that give you guys when you're putting up a number where you got to try to guess if they're going to be in there or not? Because obviously the drop-off after those 3 guys is huge.
Yeah, it can be troublesome. You know, you see it this week and you see it next week, whether it's injuries or situational. And we currently don't have a line on the Packers-Jets game because of Rodgers. He's such a big influence to the line. If he's in there, it would be Packers around 3.5. If he's out, I could see the Jets being a 3.5-point favorite going against Deshaun Kaiser. So you have a large difference there. You see picks at some places. Right now, that's basically an in-between line that people are going with until the information comes out. But Cam Newton, you know, if he ends up not playing, I could see Atlanta going off as a 3-point favorite. Right now we have Carolina minus 2.5. So that would kind of cut across a number in the same way. I expect Matt Stafford to be in there, even though he is a bit banged up. That thing would just go across 7 if he were to not play, and it would be Matt Castle.
Well, as we continue to expand the betting board here in the state of Nevada, one of the cool things that's now available is NBA MVP betting. Talk about what's happening as far as most valuable player wagering is concerned. I think we probably know who the favorite is, but give us some other prices of interest.
Yeah, you know, last year was the first year that we could book this, and this year it was approved rather late, and we usually take it down the first week or 2 of the season, but with it being so competitive, we just recently got it up, and we have Giannis Antetokounmpo as a 2-1 favorite, followed by Anthony Davis at 7-2, LeBron James at 4-1. There's a few guys in single digits, and it goes up from there after you get to James Harden at 10. Then you start seeing a large increase in the odds.
I got to tell you, I like Greek Freak, but I'm not crazy about the price. But, you know, you're not going to get bargains on stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. I mean, the points that he puts up, and you have to look at this point, too, the team's position in the standings. And that's one thing that's hurting Anthony Davis right now. But Antetokounmpo, what they're doing in the Eastern Conference, the position they're in, that's going to be something to make his case.
Do you think with that same statement, you know, LeBron James is such a big name, and because of the big trade and because the Lakers were so bad the last 2 years, he drags them into the playoffs. Does that make, you know, that give him a leg up in L.A., you know, with all the attention?
I think that the Lakers would have to get a top 4 seed for him to win it and get a home court game, a home court round. But, I mean, there's no question the difference that he has brought to that team and elevated their play. But I really think for him to come away with the award, they'd have to get a top 4 position just to make it in the voters' minds that he did something extra.
All right, let's get people fired up with something you can't bet on. But you posted a mythical number on this, and I'll let you talk about it because I think this will get some reaction. The Curry-led Warriors versus the Shaq-led Lakers.
Yeah, when you do these things with different eras, today's basketball is so different than it was 15, 16 years ago. And the spacing on the floor and the three-point game. And, we went with the Warriors as a 12.5-point favorite. And I know everyone looks back in Shaq and Kobe. And, the competition that team went through back then was not that solid. And you have 2 solid players there, but the three-point aspect would really hurt them. And the Lakers wouldn't have many guys that can guard these Warriors in today's game with the spacing. So we would have the Warriors as a rather large favorite in that game like that on a neutral court.
Jeff, this week, where would you move the arrow up and the arrow down on NBA teams? Who's the movers and shakers?
Right now we've been seeing the Pacers. They're on a 7-game win streak. They're laying 12 tonight against the Cavaliers, but they've moved up to the 3rd position in the East, so they're actually getting in the mix with the top 4 teams right now and making some noise from that perspective. They did a lot of this with Oladipo injured. Now that he's back, they're playing some great basketball. And coming down a bit back to earth is the Clippers. They were the 1 seed, like we talked about just a few weeks ago. They're in the 6th position now. They've lost 4 in a row, and they're really struggling. I know they have a couple injuries on their team, but the West is so bunched up. You see these rapid movements up and down the Western Conference as far as playoff positioning goes, and it just happens so quickly that you can't afford a losing streak like they're on.
Let's talk a little Masters. It's never too early to talk Masters, which is annually a huge betting event. People love to bet the Masters futures. And I counted 13 players priced between 12 to 1 and 25 to 1. Jeff, who are the favorites, and who's going to go off the chalk in this event?
Well, right now we have Tiger, Justin Rose, and Jordan Spieth, the 12 to 1 favorites in that range. I would expect, from a betting perspective, Tiger to go off as a favorite just because of the support that he garners, and his play has been so solid this past year. But if you're looking for more of a power rating perspective from the book side, I think Justin Rose will be that guy that where you'll see him favored in every matchup as long as he can hold the form. He just missed out from being number 1 in the world from Brooks Koepka at the end of the season. But when you go to Augusta with his performance and the state of his game right now, he's going to be the power-rated number 1.
Where's Cameron Champ going to be? I might throw a few bucks on him. I mean, you've talked him up. He looks like the next superstar. And, I mean, you're not – let's put it this way. Whatever his price is this year, probably the best price you're going to get on him for a long time.
Yeah, this is like the Jordan Spieth thing. I mean, I actually bet him at 300 to 1 for the Masters. Ooh. He's down to 50 to 1 right now. But the one thing is he's not yet qualified, but I expect him to be on a path to be qualified by the time we get to the Masters.
Moving to baseball, you guys put up.
I love this prop.
You put up a new prop. Tell us about this. The odds to win the AL and NL wild card game.
Yeah, it's we got a bit of time on our hands right now. These couple weeks leading up to Christmas, and Randy, that does our baseball odds, he had this innovative idea, something we've never done before, and it's something where you have a specific result here: the team to win the wild card in each league. So we had to basically formulate what we thought the division odds might come out to, and who might finish second, and what their chances might be for each one. So we got that up, and we're already seeing some action on it.
So I assume that because they're clearly not going to win the division, the Yankees would be the favorite for the AL wild card win because, Boston's going to win the division. We all know that.
Well, that's the thing. We do have the Yankees for the AL wild card. They're the favorite at 7-4 with Boston at 2-1 because one of those teams that doesn't win the division, then they're going to be the favorite for the wild card most likely.
I would think so.
We started out with the Yankees just because when we get the division odds up, Boston will be the favorite for that division.
Let's wrap it up. Give us a couple of ideas as far as futures are concerned, because I know you posted these for both of the key leagues over across the pond. Soccer match of the week, and maybe an idea on some of these futures that are available.
Yeah, well, the soccer match this week, we're winding down some of the domestic leagues with the holiday season, but tomorrow we have the EFL Carabao Cup in England, and it's actually a derby. We have Tottenham at Arsenal, so that's a London derby. The line is pick'em, this is going to be a tough one because just a week ago, December 2nd, Tottenham did play at Arsenal, and they lost 4-2 in a high-scoring affair. So we have a bit of a revenge spot here for Tottenham, who is right now a little bit better than Arsenal is. So we've been getting a lot of Tottenham support in this match. I would expect Tottenham to win this one tomorrow, but it should be an interesting one. And we did get up, like you mentioned, I cleaned up the UEFA Champions League futures now that the draw came out on Monday, and we got up the Europa League futures too. We have Chelsea, the 4-1 favorite, Arsenal 6-1 favorite, and that with the 32 teams that are remaining.
And I noticed, by the way, that Manchester United fired their coach. Didn't they just win the whole thing like 2 years ago?
They've been on a downward spiral in the rough season this year. They're a lot of, I believe, 19 points out of first, and they've already given up more goals this season than they did all of last season. So Jose Mourinho got sacked today, and they'll be looking to improve with a new coach. But there's a lot of good coaches out there. They might name an interim coach and then go forward with a permanent coach after the season's over. All
this good stuff is available on the app. Download the app from the iStore or whatever they call it, the App Store. And I don't know what it's called, but I know how to use it. And you don't even have to have an account to use this, so it gives you a chance to view all the options that are available at Superbook USA. And stop down and enjoy the action. There's going to be football every night from now through basically New Year's, I guess. So great opportunities to go down there, have some fun, eat some great food, enjoy the games. It's a good time.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be working on our college football playoff game propositions, too, for those games next Saturday. So we're going to get those up this Sunday. So you'll have a week to look those over, and you can check them out on the app without having an account, and have the opportunity to come down and either place your bet in person, sign up for the app where you can bet them more easily. But those will be up this Sunday, and plenty of options like that.
Thanks, Jeff. Always a pleasure, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Make sure and follow Jeff Sherman at Golf Odds on Twitter. Matt Humans from VSiN is here. What's going on, big guy? How are you?
Hey, man, it's good to be back. You're going to be on VSiN tomorrow,
yes.
Dave, talking about bowl games.
Yeah.
1 o'clock Pacific.
Got so many good bowl games to look at, too. It's going to be fun. Even these minor games, they can be entertaining and hopefully profitable.
Yeah, we got a minor game tonight. Actually, I brought this card in. Chef Pete Mastriani's have been a great radio sponsor for us for a long time. You've been friends with Chef Pete for how long? 30 years?
About 20.
Okay. That's it?
Well, it might be more than that.
All right, we have a $100 gift card.
Nice.
This is a great prize. So this trivia question is not going to be easy. I'm not sure Marco could get this. Dave, I'm not sure you can get this.
I basically have no chance.
And I don't want people to be able to Google it and look it up quickly. The subject of this question is one of my favorite people I've ever known. I think anyone who's met or known Jerry Tarkanian would say the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
Great guy, super guy.
Both of you guys spent time around Tark.
Yeah, Tark was,
Ari,
he was a good friend.
Yeah.
Just met him once. Great guy.
All right, so Tark started coaching at UNLV in 1973-74.
Okay.
Dave, you were, about 60 at the time?
Yeah. At least.
The Rebels started 9-1 that season. Did they win or lose the first game? Who was the opponent in the first game? And who did the Rebels beat in the second and third games of the season?
Wow.
That's the trade. I tell you, it's a $100 Mastriani's gift card. It cannot be an easy question.
No. So what's the question? Give that question again.
All right. So 73-74 was Tark's first season. Did the Rebels win or lose his first game? Who was the opponent in the first game? And who did the Rebels beat in the second and third games of the Jerry Tarkanian era?
Well, if you know the answer or you want to take a shot with it, call 702-364-1100. First correct answer will win the $100 gift card to Mastriani's, and we'll be right back.
The Las Vegas Sports Line.
License number NSCB 79415.
Google tells me the human body is more than 60% water. 60%! I guess that's why pure water is so important to a long, happy, healthy life. Now, are you ready for some really good news? The Sunny Plumber can give you the purity of bottled water without the bottle for your whole house. You'll cook and clean in bottled pure water. You'll shower and bathe in bottled pure water. Your dogs and cats will drink bottled pure water. Your skin will feel softer. Your dishes will sparkle and your faucets will look like new forever. long, happy, healthy. Sign